back with another one today. We're talking about Revelations 20 and 3. And he cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more till 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed in a little season. Now, this is talking about that old serpent, the devil, the Satan, the dragon. He's going to be bound for 1,000 years, right? And then Jesus is going to rule. Jesus and his saints going to rule for 1,000 years. But then after that 1,000 years, right, the devil, the old serpent, Satan, the dragon, he must be loosened for a little season. Why is he going to be loosened for a little season? So we're going to jump down to verse 7, Revelations 20 and 7. And when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosened out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. All right, so Satan is going to be loose. He's going to then trick the nations, right? What's the trick that the devil is pulling? What's the deception? He got all these people thinking Jesus has been gone for 2,000 years, right? And hasn't come back and ruled for his 1,000 years yet. So all these people are waiting for the 1,000-year reign of Christ, and it's already happened. How you think they built all these buildings perfectly in the 1700s? That's when they tell you they were built, right? How did they build these marvelous buildings all over the earth, right? Just these marvelous buildings built all over the earth. It was all built during the 1,000-year reign of Christ. And then when they left, they had to go somewhere, right? Jesus and the saints, because everything in the Bible has happened up to, and we're currently living in the devil being loose for a little season. All these grand structures and grand bridges and all this stuff that's unexplainable to the humans all happened during the 1,000-year reign, and that's the deception, right? But it says something very, very strange in verse 9. Revelations 20 and 9. And they went up on the bread of earth, and compassed the camp of the saints about and the beloved city. So the saints are being compassed, right? So all these saints that ranked with Jesus, they had to go somewhere, and it didn't say they ascended up into heaven. So the saints went to a city. So the saints are in a city, and they're being surrounded by the people who the devil has deceived in the four quarters of the earth, right? And they've come there to do battle, right? But the word I want you to focus on is compassed, right? They compass the camp of the saints. If you take the ED off, you have compass. Where do all compasses point? To the North Pole, the middle of the earth. You look at any map, even if you believe in the globe, it's the North Pole. It's right on top. It's in the middle. All compasses point north. They gonna go up on the bread of the earth. Black rock. It's a mountain now. They know this. How do you explain compasses? It's all pointing you back to the law. Because this is our last chance to get it right, to get your name in that book of life. This is it. There is no more turns. Either you do it right this time, or that's it. Right? That's why magnets point north. Compasses point you to the law, to where the saints are. And what did the saints do? They kept the law. Now we're going to do something very interesting here. If you go to Genesis, right? Beginning in Genesis, once you find the first letter of Torah, right? Spelled Torah, Hebrew. These words I'm talking about in the Hebrew, right? The way they got it lined up, right? If you once you find the first letter, T, you count 49 letters, it'll get you to the next letter. Then 49 letters, it gets you to the next letter. Then 49 letters, I get you to the H. Right? So Genesis, you start, you find the T, you go 49 letters, you find the O, 49 letters, R, 49. Exodus, same thing. Right? And they Genesis and Exodus both do this, but Leviticus does not. Then if you go to Numbers and Deuteronomy, it does it the same thing, but backwards. You find the H, you go 49 letters. You find the R, you go 49 letters. You find the O, you go 49 letters. You find the T. So the first 5 books of the Bible, right, they have a mission. Genesis and Exodus point you to Leviticus. Numbers and Deuteronomy point you to Leviticus, right? First 2 pointing you forward. The next 2 books next 2 books after Leviticus pointing you back to the law. It all points to the law, which is what you have to do, right? What you have to do to get your name in a book of life and to avoid this brimstone, avoid this lake of fire. You have to follow the compass north, which is the saints, they are going to compass. They're going to try to kill the saints, which are in the North Pole. This is why the North Pole is a secret, right? It's a city there, and that city has the saints. But the devil's loose for a little while, and he's deceiving. So we're waiting on things in the Bible like the mark of the beast and the plagues, and they've already happened. That's the deception. But he's giving you a compass, right? And it's pointed you to the truth. That's why they call it true north. It's the truth. And it's the compass is pointing you to it. But they're going to compass the saints. So you better get your act right and follow the magnet. I'm tired of talking to y'all.